All systems go. So, yeah. So Mike, new to fly fishing?
Brand new to salmon fishing, yeah. I've done trout fishing before, but this is the first time with a salmon rod.
Oh, great, because it's always good to have somebody that's never used it. So when you move from single-handed to double-handed fishing, there's quite a lot of stuff that comes with it that's good with a single-handed rod that's applicable to the double-handed rod. One or two that aren't. So the main difference that I'm going to show you today is basically this one. In that, when you understand the double haul, you do, So, if you understand the double haul, then you'll understand this long movement with your left hand.
Yep.
But look where it starts. It's pretty much here. The bottom line is the main movement, main difference is this compact move. Boop.
Okay.
And listen to that noise. You hear that noise?
Very sharp.
It's a sharp noise. If you were doing it right, then you get the sharp noise. And it's important, but you know this for your single-handed fishing, it's important that you keep the rod in the same track. That track can be the same plane here. It can be this plane, it can be that plane, it can be this plane. But it's important that when the rod begins its track forward, that it stays on the same plane. So if you start in one plane, it stays in the same.
Okay.
But what you're looking for is this little flick.
Yeah. Quite distinctive.
It is.
Yeah.
If you go like this and you make it wrong and you push with your right hand, which loads of people do, it's a much different noise. Legato. We want staccato. Right, go for it, Mike. So, just get into a nice slack grip, pal. A nice slack grip. And you can do this in your back garden. It's really, really good. You can put your rod together, do it in your back garden. It's a really great exercise. Left hand right to the bottom. You want as much leverage as possible. Okay. So, thumb and top, it's great. Not too, I don't want to look at your fingers as if you're going to hit me on the chin. I don't want any of that kind of stuff. I just want nice, easy grip. Bringing the rod to this position and make a flick, like so. We'll just try that.
So from here.
Drop it, perfect. Perfect. Now this is the sound that I want to hear. Go and try that, because that is really good. Perfect, perfect. What I really liked about that, mate, is both hands were working in unison.
Yeah.
Perfect. It's exactly how I want it to happen, you know?
Yeah, you can feel the rod loading as well.
Yeah, that's perfect. Because that is then going to send all that energy that you create here into the fly line, a really nice tight loop.
Yeah.
Perfect. So what we're going to do now, we're going to grab that rod and we're going to have a go with the line on.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to go and get my crash helmet, by the way. Okay. Yeah. So here we go, and we're going to do what we call a roll cast first, Mike. Yeah? This is, I mean, it's not ideal this side of the river for a roll cast. However, we've got a wee bit of room between us and the bank, so that's good. And a roll cast is basically just casting the line straight downstream. So if we look at the part of the line that's on the water, we call that the anchor. That's always pointing in the direction of our cast. So we're going to bring the rod back here very slowly and under tension. This is the key. We keep point P, the point at which the line meets the water, there in front of us, and we're going to make that little flick downstream. Okay. How you take the rod from this position to that position is mega important with regard controlling the line. You know, if you make a fast move, it's going to kill it. Nice slow move, it keeps tension in the line, brings the rod tip to the right place, and then make that flick. Go and show me your flick again, just the same as we did. So come out here a wee bit. I'm going to stand in front of you, and I hope you're not going to hit me too much in the chin here, but there you go. So, there we go.
So it's the...
Nice and slow. So, opening up that wrist, bringing both hands to this position here.
Yep.
That's you now in the key position, and then you make that little flick. So instantly, you do what everyone and their granny does, and that's give it a push.
Yeah.
Because in your brain's telling you to get that line out, you have to push it, you know. But if you think about what we were doing with staccato, legato, nice sharp note with the rod. So bring the back again, bring the rod into the correct position again. So there it is, nice and easy. The rod's moving at the same speed. That's it, now in the correct position. Now flick it. Now I said flick it, I didn't say push it, you know?
Yep.
So what you want to do, and what's happening is that your left hand's ending up across here. What happens when that happens is that you open up the loop, so you go off plane. So you begin the forward cast in this plane, but finish it on that plane.
Yeah.
So you keep this hand to this side of your tummy. So when you're coming to that position, this hand now is going to end up middle tummy or slightly to the left,
Okay.
and that one is not going to go any further than this reel.
Okay.
Boom.
Yeah.
Like so.
Okay.
Nice and slow, nice and slow.
Getting your
There you are.
coordination right, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It is. It's like rubbing your tummy and patting your head.
Yeah.
Your brain tells you to push. This is what everyone gets wrong. But if you, this is a great exercise. What we did with the rod is a fantastic exercise, Mike. So just bringing it to the key position, slowly bringing both hands up, so that this hand here is opposite your right shoulder, and you're coming down, up, down and stop.
Okay.
Keeping the rod in plane.
Yep.
Down and flick. Same as you did with that rod. Don't think you've got a line on. Just think you're flicking
think
the
of it
rod.
as you were
Just
doing it
think
before,
it, yeah, absolutely. That's it. And when you do that, the whole thing works.
Yeah. Okay.
You know?
Yeah. You can feel the rod load as well,
you can
can't you?
feel.
Properly. Yeah.
You can feel. And as soon as you say the word feel, then I know for a fact it's going to work. You
Yeah.
know? That you're getting it, you know? That's what's happening as the rod is loading up and you're feeling that flex in the rod.
Yeah.
That flex comes, put your hand on again, right? That flex comes as you make what we call the loading move.
Yeah.
So the loading move, we're not going to make a cast here, but the loading move happens between this point here and that point there.
Okay.
And then from this vertical point, the rod releases the energy.
Yeah.
So you create the energy on the 1 o'clock side of 12 there, and you release it just after 12.
Yeah.
And off it goes. The release is that little
The release
flick.
is all important. Yeah.
It is mega important, mega important.
Yeah.
So 1 or 2 more there, just bring the rod, I'll leave it to yourself. Both hands, lift both hands in unison. That's it. And that's you. Flick. I would say what you're doing there is you're flicking the rod just a fraction too early, Mike.
Okay.
A fraction too early. Make sure that that flicks right at the end.
Right at the end.
Yeah. If I had a tub of paint, and we had a paintbrush, and we were making a paint fight, yeah? So dip the paint in, come like this, and then I'd go flick and flick the paint off the brush to you. I wouldn't flick it here because all the paint would fall off. Yeah?
Yeah.
I'd flick it at the end.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Okay.
Go for it.
So in unison.
Yeah, in unison, both hands up, and it's better. Better. It's still a wee bit high.
Yeah.
And you can see the line tells you everything as well. You know, how the line presents itself on the water tells you everything. All that was wrong with that was the flick was a fraction too early. So you saw me bringing the rod to 12 here. So you started in this position back here. The downward motion or loading move brings the rod from this 130 position where it is just now to that 12,
Yeah.
and then comes the flick.
Okay.
But if the flick comes before 12, the line goes up in the air,
Yeah.
like so.
Okay.
But if it comes after 12, straight out through the wind and everything else.
Okay. So it's So unison.
That's
12.
it. That's it. That's it. Much better. Much better. Yeah.
Yep. A few more practices then.
You'll get. Just go for it yourself. Don't go for it. Feel comfy. Don't think I'm critiquing every cast. Will that catch a fish? Of course it'll catch a fish. No trouble. So I would say of the elements that we're trying to just get perfect here, 9/10 are right in that. The thing about fly casting is if you get one thing wrong, it looks like spaghetti bolognese. If you get everything right, then the line goes out like a bullet.
Yeah.
The big thing for you, no question, is to get that rod to come down through the vertical and then release. But all as part of one movement.
Get the timing right.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
All about timing, yeah.
Go for it, one more, and then we're going to do what we'll call a double spey cast.
Okay.
Because it's all very well putting the line down there, but the fish are out here, so we need to get the line out there. So I'll explain how to do that after that,
Yeah.
and how relevant it is to this process. Yeah. Great. Perfect, Mike. Really, for a beginner,
You can really feel the rod load, yeah.
You can feel it. That's how it works. That's how it works, you know. So that's the final delivery. Think about this. Look. So as you lift the rod into this, what we call key position, So the line that's on the water is facing your intended target, which in the case of the roll cast is down here. However, I want it to go over there. Can I put the line over there whilst the line is facing downstream? Change. You can see it doesn't work properly at all. So what I have to do is I have to change the line. So once the line is fished round, in a fishing sense, I have to change the line prior to that forward cast to face my intended target. Yeah. How do I do that? We do a double spey cast.
Okay.
Sounds a wee bit complicated.
Sounds complicated,
but it's not complicated at all. Whoop, whoop, whoop. That's me, almost in, almost in. Right, we've got a right laugh there, or loads of folk would have, for sure. So, double spey cast. What we've talked about until now is all about control of the rod. Double spey cast, about control of the line. All good spey casting, there are slow moves attached to slightly faster moves.
Yeah.
Slow moves attached to faster moves. And just think about it in that context,
okay.
You know, slow moves attached to slightly faster moves. In the case of the double spey cast, having let the fly come round here, what we're trying to do, Mike, is with the first slow move, it's always the lift, and every single spey cast has it. The lift in every spey cast is the prep for the important move. What we're trying to do here is we're trying to move the end of the fly line from its position as it's come to the end of the swing, from here up to a position about a rod length out from us and a rod length below us. That's what we're trying to do. So what we do is we lift the rod, that clears X amount of line from the river, and then we come over in an arc and down. And there you can see the fly is now a rod length out and a rod length below us. That's what we're trying to do. I'll show you again. So here's the slow move, followed by the main event with spey casting. That's moving the line. Now it's in the right place, again.
Okay.
What gets it in the right place? What I do here gets my rod to the correct position, line to the correct position. It's properly prepped. I come over and down, and the line lands here every single time. That's what I'm trying to do. So it's almost like a banana lying on its back, right? So we do that one, and then, having done that, interestingly, what do? We just lift both hands to the same position as we were before when we're making a roll cast, and because now the line is pointing exactly where we want it, everything's perfect. So the second part of that is exactly what you were doing here, or not much different, slightly different tempo, but I'm going to show you. But the key part always is a slow lift, prepping, and then over the top and down. Good. Slow move all the way, get the rod into the same position as you were before. Off you go. Mike, it's all up to you.
You're making it very simple, but
it is. Simple things for simple people. That's no reflection on yourself, sir. Okay? Right.
So it's a slow movement up.
And then that's it, and over and down. A wee pull as it comes up, and just lift both your hands to the same position as you did before. That's it, and flick. Now, if you make the flick at the beginning of the forward cast and not the end, then the line will feather and fall into the water. However, if you make the flick at the end of the forward cast, no trouble at all.
Putting it all together, isn't it?
It is putting it together, because your brain is now focusing on different parts of it. Once it focuses on the key part, which is that last part, everything's good. Slow lift.
Okay, so slow lift.
And then a wee pull up as you drop it. That's good. Round you go. Key position, pop it. Want to be long before you're doing it, man? It wouldn't be long before you're catching a fish.
It's just putting it all into the motion, isn't it?
That's the tricky thing about spey casting. If you get one part of it wrong, it upsets the next part, you know, which is why we have to teach it in this way and get each part correct, you know. So,
and then it's practice.
Then it's practice the right thing.
It's the right thing.
It's really, really important. You practice the right thing.
It's really difficult, I guess, to build out if you've done it wrong before.
Oh,
it's really tricky.
Once that muscle memory is developed in the wrong way, then you're in trouble.
Yeah.
You're in real trouble for sure. That's how it's good to come to an instructor or see some good instructional videos where you can really see the key points.
Yeah.
The key points to this here are most definitely this lift, you know, the slow lift,
Yep.
getting the line prepped. That's getting the line on the surface, ready for what is the key move to pull the end of the line up to here.
Yeah.
Go for it again, mate.
So I guess I'm doing it
That's
slow,
good.
but it's
That's
purely
good. A
'cause,
wee
yeah.
flick up upstream. That's good. Round you go, all the way round. You can see the line feathering down compared to the last time.
Yeah.
That was because you didn't put in that flick
So
right at
getting
the
that-
end.
yeah.
Yep. Yep.
It's all about the practice, isn't
Oh,
it?
for sure, for sure. That's good. Now we pull on the way up. That's it. Round you go, keep going round, up to the road, pop. Okay, I'm gonna, yes, and you can see.
You can see it when it's wrong, yeah.
So, we'll put a slightly different analogy on that roll cast. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the roll cast to try and get you to make that flick a fraction later, because this
Yeah.
is a common fault that we see with a lot of people, probably 95%.
Okay.
You know, so
So I'm not
don't worry,
uncommon then.
you're definitely not, definitely not. So what I've done is, on the last part of the cast, I've asked you at this point to just lift your hands into this position here. Now I know that I have to make that flick out here in front of me, you know, so I need a loading move prior to that flick. Imagine now that I have a big blackboard here, great big blackboard. Yeah.
Yeah.
And on that blackboard, I'm going to draw a big torpedo on the blackboard, right?
Okay.
So if you watch, imagine I have a piece of chalk on the end of that road. And that road is going to go along the flat part of that torpedo, look, under tension. All the way back, back over the camera. Back over. Then it's going to come around, and after it gets to there, I'm going to make that flick. You know? So I'm going like this, keeping this hand palmward up, and there's method in my madness for the single spey, by the way. So I'm just drawing that big long torpedo. Pop. Don't give it a wee try.
Okay.
Make sure that the rod goes at the same pace all the way along there and around here, and it doesn't speed up paradoxically by way of a stop until that's complete. Go for it.
So you're bringing it more.
That's it. Horizontal, that's great. All the way back. Oh.
That,
Now, that was it. Now you can see, because you've got a different analogy in
Yeah.
your head, and it's always good with people, mate.
Yeah.
People pick things up differently.
Yeah.
And so now you're making that flick in exactly the right place. So with regard to the double spey cast, so if I take the rod back, so the blackboard is now here. It's at right angles to your target. It's always right angles to your target. So here. And now you're just going to draw the torpedo, look, all the way around there. Here we come. Up. Once you've done that, double spey's in your pocket.
Yeah.
It's easy. Yep.
Try and put it together.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yep.
So,
you do the first bit. Up,
slowly up.
always a lift, and give it a wee pull all the way back down. That's right. Now draw the torpedo. Then, I really liked it, Mike.
Didn't quite get there.
I made a bit. I'm not going to say the word that was in my head, but I did make a bit of a backside of that because I pulled it too far, meaning that the line came up too far.
Yeah.
So I want you this time, because you did the rest of this absolutely right. This time, nice slow lift and just a wee. That's it. Now the torpedo, exactly the same as the last time, and it's going to work perfectly. You've got a sink tip on.
So
Right.
it's, yeah.
Right. Adds another dimension to it. Yep. I'm going to show you. It's going to be really, really easy for you to see this as well. If I go like this, the whole idea, the next part, is for me to straighten this line, look.
Yep.
So that the whole line is straight before I make my forward cast. So the length of the torpedo is relevant to that.
Okay.
You know? So if I go like this, watch the white line, and I only make a short torpedo to here, you can see that a L is in there, and that's what's going to happen. Yep. However, if I go like this and I make a long torpedo all the way back there, now it's straight, look.
Yeah.
No
So you
trouble.
want that line to be straight
Yes,
when
it
you...
has to be straight. By the time you turn around the little turn, I always call it, by the time you do that, the line is facing your target. The whole line is straight. Very, very important with a sink tip especially.
Comes out of the water
Yes,
easy, doesn't it?
yes, yes. Yep. Go for it. Up it comes. It's good. Straight into it. Nice long torpedo. All the way back. Up and up and up and up. That's it. Well done. Voila. Voila. Now you can go
Putting
fishing.
it all together.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So that's it. So you're fishing with a sink tip. It's tricky, you know, but if you know the easy fix, just lengthen the torpedo.
Yeah.
That's all you need to do.
No, it's
Yep.
simple when you say it, isn't
Absolutely.
it? But putting it all together, it's
It is.
It's
Aye,
just, yeah.
for sure.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Good man. Well done.
Thank
Let's
you.
go fishing. Get a catch a fish.
That'd
eh?
be brilliant.
Good lad. Good one. Yep.